Alright, boys and girls, happy Homebrew Wednesday! Whew! It's been a while since I've really been able to say happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers, everybody. Get yourself a little sip on. This is an IPA that is doing its best to not take in any carbonation. As you can see, it's got a decent head going, but I just cannot get, I can't get the CO2 to freaking stay in there. And it also has when I pour these, I'm getting a really weird, like cascade, or what is it, cascading, like the way that it forms its head. It's really weird, but I mean, yeah, I got a good old healthy head on there, but yeah, damn thing just doesn't, carbonation's pretty damn low on it. So, it is what it is. I don't know. I'm still playing around with these taps. I think the biggest thing is I just tapped the kegs too early. And what I really should do is take the lines off, purge them, re-hit them with CO2. But I'm lazy, and I don't want to. So, I'm not gonna. Cheers again. The theme going forward for a little while is going to make sure that I have another one already set up and ready to go, and in fact, I do. So the first beer in the series of another one is the Sunshine State IPA. I can't remember if this is from this year's comp or last year's, but safe to assume it's an IPA. The moment I pop this bad boy, whoo, you could get a ton of grapefruit off it. You could still get a ton of grapefruit. This thing is just popping with, it's an insane amount of grapefruit. And then I think I saw that there's citra hops too. There has to be, I smell it. Helps when I go to the side that actually has the stuff on there. Yeah, we got Summit, Citrus, Centennial, Chinook, Cascade, and Simcoe at only 65 IBUs. Somebody was doing a very good job of keeping the IBUs low, but the hops high. And this has basically standard stuff. Two-row, Crystal 20, Munich, wheat, Carapils. And the local ingredient is Florida grapefruit. I got it right. There is grapefruit in there. This thing works. You would have thought from all the damage in the 80s this thing wouldn't work anymore. I'm kidding. I would have been 6 then. I wasn't doing... That's a lot. That's a lot of grapefruit. I like that. It's definitely on the sweeter end of IPAs. Oh, okay. Probably from the Carapils. The Carapils, the wheat, and the Munich is definitely going to get you some sweetness. But yeah, that's a drinkable summer beer. It's a little weird now that it's December I'm drinking this, but hey, I can just crank the heat and it'll feel like summer, so problem solved. Got to think outside the box. So this is a very happy Homebrew Wednesday. I've been sitting on this video for far too long. My apologies in advance, SJ. Forever and a day ago, like in September or October, I went up to the Grain Bell, and this beer's definitely carbonated. So I went up to the Grain Bell forever ago. Got to see SJ's new place. It's a sweet setup. I was slightly pressed for time just because the wife and I had something planned later that night, so I couldn't stay forever, and it's about an hour and 45-minute drive from my house. All things considered, it's really not that bad because I have to drive an hour either way. There's two homebrew stores from me that are practical to go to. One is an hour north, the other is an hour west. I have no idea which direction I'm pointing in reality right now, but we'll pretend that this is right. I guess for you it would be this. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm not good with a sense of direction. Let's just put that out there and be honest. All right? It's called a GPS. I have one in my phone. I don't need a sense of direction anymore. That's how it works. But basically, it's a little bit of a drive to get to either of my places right now. So a lot of the times I was just ordering stuff anyways. But that was before SJ opened. Now that SJ's open, I'm kind of just getting my shit together. I plan out my next couple brews. I order my stuff from SJ and then just put it, the hops go in the freezer. The yeast goes in the refrigerator. I've been working on harvesting my yeast. I want to do a series on that, but I want to wait because I want to try a new product from Northern Brewer. They have those little already canned worts that are like I think it's like $8 for 4 of them. That would significantly cut down on some of the homebrew time of harvesting yeast and making a starter and working it over and over and over again, because that's something I've actually gotten really good at. It turns out that when you have become a master at reducing infection to 0, and also the same level of skin on your hand to 0, because of the insane amount of star sand you use, it allows you to be very good at yeast propagation and basically keeping yeast strains alive. That yeast strain I had in my comp beer was almost 2 years old. That was an old yeast strain. That it was a mix of 2 yeasts, and I just kind of kept it alive. And I'm assuming they made a baby, and that baby made the yeast that you guys had in the comp. So if you can save any of those yeasts, feel free to save it and send it back. Because if you enjoyed the beer, I know one person didn't, but yeah, it was just a bad bottling on my part, I guess. But yeah, that was a really cool yeast strain. I really liked it. I'm all out of bottles now, so I can't save any. But if anyone else saves it and sends it back, it'd be greatly appreciated. But getting back to the original point, so I buy all my stuff now from SJ. He's got a really great setup. He's got stuff that even Northern Brewer and Midwest don't have. He's got these really cool cider kits that are awesome. They are the definition of wife pleasers. I mean, there was like a pear, 2 types of apples, a peach, I believe. It's all in the video, so why keep talking? Why don't we just go straight to the video and you guys can see.
It is 4:27 in the morning, and as you can see, dark as fuck outside. It better be a damn good reason for why I'm getting up.
I finally made it. Check out this. These signs look as friggin' good in person as they did online. They look awesome. Open for business. Always a great sign. Man, these look awesome. So freaking good. Hands down best sign. I love that. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Brew beer, baby. And, oh, this one's sweet too though, with the hops in the background. Nice. Look at this. This is I think the greatest thing. Having the majority of your specialty malts all already broken out. So if you're like me, you have a wife and a kid who say, get home as quickly as possible. You can grab everything I need and bounce. And then the greatest thing, are you the only one on the East Coast?
Us and a guy in New Jersey are the only ones on the East Coast carrying Omega yeast.
That have the Omega yeast. And as much as it scares me, I'm going to take the dip and grab some lactobacillus. Look at this, man. It's got the mangrove tract yeast, got the regular lavin, all the brew craft with the hops. Very nice. Oh, I just saw that. You have Hop Union too. That's awesome. Ooh, Horizon. I have not tried that yet. Totally good thing. So you got the ciders, everything in. And then how do these work again, SJ? You just have to put them in water for a little bit?
Yeah, basically all you do with these guys is you add in some dextrose in the back, add water, add yeast, and ferment.
That's perfect.
Cider in a pouch, baby.
Oh, yeah. After a long day of brewing and drinking, if you want to make just one more thing with some hot water, bada bing, bada boom. And on the rare case, in case you need to distill olive oil, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or some vinegar or liquor, it can be done. That is freaking awesome. What you do with it when you leave the store, that is your own prerogative. Anybody who's on the Homebrew Network, I think I've never actually seen these in store before. I've seen pictures, I believe, of them. But I think you're probably one of the few people on the East Coast that sells these too. That's pretty awesome. I gotta tell you right now, that one sounds awesome. Citrus Saison.
I was actually talking to Denny Coon the other day, and he's going to try and make it out in the spring.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Here to the store, so I'm looking
Those of you who like fruity beers, no judgment, people. We have plum, cherry, apricot. I've used the apricot before.
I also use this in helping, back sweeten meads and ciders.
Oh, that's a good point. Strawberry, apple, peach. Oh, nice.
Can these work in other purposes, like late night endeavors, you and your consenting spouse?
You might know, not. Nothing is off base.
Nice. If anybody wants to use that distilling kit, check it out. Awesome selection. I really like this. You get your 6-row, your wheat, and then like those other little packages that were over there, where they're already broke up in the 1-pounders. They're thinking about doing 10-pounders and 5-pounders, which would be awesome for people like me who are traveling. But this is awesome. Look at the craftsmanship here. Oh, and before I forget, look at the craftsmanship of this. All hand built. That is freaking nice. It's like a freaking Amish table. Sweet.
Alrighty, so as you guys saw in that video, again, putting context into it, I woke up because the wife and I had plans later that night. I woke up at the ass crack of dawn so I could be there when his store opens at about 8 o'clock, and I think it opens at 8. I basically got there right in time. But it's an awesome setup. I apologize for the shakiness. I apologize for it not really being that long a video. Every time SJ and I get together, we both completely forget to take video and pictures. And that was like a last minute thing before I had to run out the door. But SJ's shop is awesome. I can't say enough about his prices. His prices on all his equipment is literally as cheap, and in some, cheaper than what you can get from Northern Brewer. And Midwest, all the big guys. His supplies, where he can, are ridiculously affordable. I think I kept putting stuff in my basket, being like, I want this, I want that, I want this. And the entire time I was like, are you sure this is starting to add up? And I was like, I want it, I need it, I love the price, it's totally worth it. And then when it came to his grains, it's ridiculous. His grains, his hops, his yeast, all that stuff is some of the cheapest I've ever seen. And on top of that, Pennsylvania has an amazing law that says you cannot put sales tax on top of groceries. So technically, the hops, the yeast, the barley, all that stuff, it qualifies as groceries. So I didn't have to pay any sales tax on that. So once you factor that in, plus how much cheaper it was than my local homebrew stores, which aren't really even that local to me. I mean, an hour drive is not local. It's basically, as long as I schedule my brews out, it pays for itself. Like I did the math, I showed it to the wife, and was like, look, every time I go there, I'm saving between $60 and $100 because of how much I buy. I mean, I bought close to $200 worth of stuff the last time I went up there, so it was worth it for sure. I apologize, the video was a little shaky. I did my best, and I know it was really brief. But if you have any questions, comment down below. I can't say thanks enough, SJ, for starting the grain bill, for dealing with my insanity, my crazy personality, and I can't say thanks enough, man. This has been thanks to the community. If it wasn't for the community, I would have never met SJ, would have never found an awesome new local homebrew store, and on top, and of course, more importantly than all of that, I wouldn't have found such a great friend and drinking partner. So on that note, I'm going to go have another one off camera, edit all this stuff up so I can get it up by Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers, everybody. It's been real these past couple weeks. Let's have some happiness. Let's have some good stories, some good brews. And last thing before I forget, we are doing an International Brew Day on the 12th, which would be Saturday. Go check Kevin Clements, SJporr, Larmo, Nate, Under the Table Brewing, and Brad. I think they all have the times for every locale. Go to their channels. They're awesome guys, of course. But that's it. I'm going to go upstairs and have some dinner, drink these 2 beers, and get ready to watch your Homebrew Wednesdays. So, cheers. Catch you next week.